Hello, battle report time again, and it's Karl that stands for the opposition once again. He wasn't too pleased with the last game, so we actually managed to get a rematch in just the day after. I gave my Dread Elves some time off since I'm happy with the list at the moment, and I think I will get enough practice games in later this summer, I think. Instead, I brought my warriors. This army is themed around two lords with their ritunes that compete for the gods' attention. As you can see, I still haven't got my gaming mat, but the terrain is already repainted, so it's quite a mismatch at the moment. The game doesn't start off well, as I actually forget to get my Hell Riders from their shelf, and we also forgot to roll the deploy and the secondary objective. I blame it a bit on having to take care of my free roll at the same time, but nonetheless, it's stupid to forget units. So the game were a standard kill as much as you can game with battle line deploy. My Shadow Sorcerer got Miasma, Orb of Blackness, and Turn to Smoke, and the level 1 got Fireball. He has changed his army a little, taking care of the leadership problem by bringing a Prince and a BSB. On the other hand, he has no magic, so I can pretty much do as I want on that phase. Since there was a hill in the middle, I thought that I could use it to block line of sight and overload on one flank. He wanted to go first in this game, so he put everything down at once. Since his shooting was all on the left flank, I put everything on my right so that he wouldn't get to shoot anything important. From my left are the Warhounds, Warriors with the Lord, Fallen, Crushers with the BSB and General, then Barbarians with the Sorcerers. From his right, two Archer units, a Knight unit, 3 Bolt Throwers, a second Knight unit, Spears with Chariots in front, second Spears with General and BSB, and lastly the Sea Guards. He starts the game by moving up his units on the right towards the action. His Chariots move up on the hill, and for shooting he kills one Crusher and the Warhound unit. I then move everything up almost full speed. Since the Crushers no longer are any protection for my characters, I move them out. For magic I start by fireballing some Sea Guards. Then I put an orb in front of one of his chariots to make it lose sight of my warriors. I also get Miasma off, lowering the ballistic skill of the Sea Guards before I fail with Turn to Smoke, which was the spell he was waiting to dispel anyway. With the attribute, I move my general up behind the Buddha statue, facing his Sea Guards and Spears. Oh, in his turn, he charged 2 chariots into the warriors and the Sea Guards into my general. Shooting kills 3 fallen, and in combat his chariots doesn't kill a single warrior and gets killed outright in return. His Sea Guards managed to put a wound on the general, I think, but either way it is soul stealed back and a bunch of guards die, but whoever won didn't matter as we stuck anyway. In my turn 2 I make a dire mistake as I charge his chariot with my warriors, and it never occurred to me that he would flee, so when he does, I'm left with a bunch of rotten choices, and I go for a redirect against his knights, since I thought it worse with knights in the flank and the spears, but I fail since I need an 8 or a 9. Had I done things in the right way here, I just should have put the Crushers and the BSB into the spears, but I was a bit afraid for my general, so I chose to aid in that combat instead. And I didn't think the spears a threat, sadly. 2 of the beasts come on the board, both going for his bolt throwers. My Fallen goes up to redirect one of the knight units, but I'm still concerned about the other one, so in the magic phase I try to hex it as much as possible and manage to lower the weapon skill by 2. In combat I didn't break the Sea God, so in his turn he then charged his spears into the flank of my warriors, and it's not until now I realized that the spears actually are the bigger threat, and since I hexed his knights he resists the temptation of charging them into, which at least would have given me some combat rest. His other knights charge the fallen, and all his charges make it in. His chariot rally, and for shooting he kills one of the beasts. In combat his spear unit kill about 8 of my warriors, which hurts. Guess I must have confused them with my Dread Elf spears who never kill anything. Well, I realized that this will not end well for me, so I do what I can and go for the BSB, killing it before I break. I actually get away, but knights kill the fallen and have an easy overrun into the warriors, so they are gone, together with the lord. The general and the crushers kill the last sea gods. My turn 3, and I charge the general into the chariot, as I figure his bolt throwers are preoccupied with the beasts, since one now charges a bolt thrower and another comes on the board. The crushers turn to face his units while I move the BSB up, hoping it can take a charge from the knight. I think I lower the move of his spears and put a fireball into his knights in the magic phase. In combat the lord easily killed the chariot while the beast killed the bolt thrower. So then he charged the spears into my general, positioning them so that my crushers can't charge past them. One knight unit charged the BSB while his general's unit tried to get out of the way for the other lance unit. Shooting kills a beast, and in combat he does no wounds anywhere, and I kill a lot, but everyone sticks. I then charge the crushers into the spears, move the barbarians while marching the sorcerers out to either side. The remaining beast gets into another bolt thrower. For magic I fireball his knights. The BSB kills some more knights, and the crushers and the lord break the spears. I pursue with the general, as I hope the pursuit will take him off the board and that way get him away from shooting. The crushers reform, and I put them in such a stupid way that if his knights reach the barbarians they are out of their charge arc. So in his turn 5 the knights do just that, and then his archers start to deliver, killing the last beast. In combat he breaks the barbarians who run off the board, while the BSB kill one knight. He didn't pursue with the lance and instead reform them against the BSB and the crushers. In my turn I need to stop his knights from charging my crushers, so I charge both my sorcerers into them, one into the flank and one in the rear, and with only a few strength 3 attacks and no reform I might make it. The crushers charge the other knights in the flank, and for magic I lower the strength of the big knight unit and also get a miscast, which causes a wound to my sorcerer and makes its situation a bit dire. In combat the BSB and crushers kills the remaining knights while the sorcerers actually survive. Over to his last turn, and he moves his general away from any threats, and in shooting I think it's a mistake when he shoots at the crushers instead of my general. He kills 2 of them, which on the other hand makes me not want to charge them to his spears, but it's a 50-50 that he would have killed the general instead if he had shot at him. In combat the sorcerers live another turn, so in my last turn I charge the general into his knights, and the BSB takes a chance on the spears. I think I was too afraid of another miscast to cast anything more, so in combat I kill a bunch of both knights and spears. He killed the wounded sorcerer, and then both his units stick. The game turned out really close. but after giving him the points for my no-show Hellriders, I still won by 11-9. It was a nice game, and it's always fun with close games, but I did way too many mistakes to feel good about this one. So he had nothing that could hurt my warriors the least in the front, so I was very embarrassed to give him a flank like that. There were also many small mistakes when it came to movement and prioritizing, but other than that, I think it was a fun army to play with a decent potential, so I will give it some more goes in the future. We'll see how many games I can get in before our local summer tournament, where I will continue to play with the Dread Elves, but there will be some more games before that, I hope. Until then,